Hi guys, it's Joanne here again. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to sew this pant trouser you're seeing here with a zipper at the back. I didn't get to fix the zipper, but I'm going to be doing that later in this video. And also, I'm going to be showing you guys how to sew this neatly finished crop top with a bow at the back. If you're interested in something like this, kindly watch this video to the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. And guys, I want to introduce to you this membership thing going on my channel. So if you want to be a part of it, there's a join icon on your screen now that you can tap on it to join. So I offer exclusive perks, badges, emojis, and also I offer members only videos. So if you want to join me, kindly click on that icon, the join icon, to be a part of it. So guys, without wasting much of your time, let's get right into the tutorial. So guys, in case you don't know, I have posted the cutting part of this tutorial and I'm going to be leaving it in the description box down below. If you've not seen it, do well to check it out. It is well detailed. Back to this one guys, I have the two main bodies here and the trouser part, okay, the upper bodies and the trouser part. Now I'm going to be transferring the dart from the pattern paper to the main bodies. To do that, I'm simply going to be folding in where I have the dart intake. I'm going to fold it this way and notch on the center line of the dart. Okay, so once I've done that, I'll know where to start sewing the dart. So you can as well use your pencil to mark that part if you don't want to notch. And on this other top part of the dart, I'm going to be placing a pin there. Okay, place a pin there and use your chalk to mark where the pin is. Okay, so with that, you know where to take and sew your dart from the waist to that part. Hope you understand. So I'm going to be doing sewing the dart on the main bodies and the lining piece of the back part, okay, of the back block. Now to the front block, I'm going to also do the same thing. The same method I used to transfer the dart on the back block, I'll do the same thing on the front block. So for the trouser part, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to be transferring the dart from the pattern paper to the main bodies. Okay, so that's the same method I use for the upper parts. Is the same method I'm going to be using for this trouser pattern or this trouser part. All right, so just simply transfer your darts from your pattern paper to the main bodies. Once I was through with that, I'm going to take this to the machine and I'm going to be stitching the darts. So taking the dart, I'll do the same thing for both the front and the back. Once I'm done with that, I'll now sew the crotch area. All right, so sew the crotch area by just half of an inch. You don't need much allowance for your trouser. And on the back part, I'm going to also do the same thing. So from the top here all the way to the down part of the crotch. All right, so guys, after stitching the darts, this is exactly what I have. I went ahead to give this a good press. Guys, please, if you're sewing, ensure you iron properly. Make sure you iron whatever you're sewing. Make sure you iron, so because as you go, if you iron well, you're going to be seeing the results. Now I'm going to be placing the right sides of the back like this. I'll be stitching the neckline. Okay, so stitch the neckline by like 0.4, okay, 0.4 inches, or you can do 0.5. All right, So I'm going ahead now to place my pin, all right, so that I can take this to the sewing machine and sew. I'll do the same thing for the front parts. Okay, I'll do the same thing for the front part. I'm going to be also sewing the front neckline by 0.4 inch. So for the front, also place the right sides facing each other, right side of the lining piece and the main fabric facing each other, and you're going to be stitching the neckline by 0.4 or 0.5. Max should be 0.5. So stitch around here by 0.5 max. Okay, I'll do that and I'm going to be showing you guys what I have. Now for the trouser piece, I have taken in the dart and I've sewn the crotch area. This is what it looks like, and I went ahead to iron the dart area and also the crotch area. So you really have to iron whatever you are sewing. Please iron very well. All right, so that was the front part, and this is the back block. Have you guys seen how I took in the, and notice that where I'm going to be fixing the zipper, I use a loose stitch. Okay, so you can use a loose stitch where you're going to be fixing your zipper. Now once I'm through with that, I'm going to also sew the side of this trouser. So place the right sides facing each other, and also use your pin to place the fabric so it can be in place, and take to your sewing machine and sew by just half of an inch. Sew the side by half of an inch. That's if the allowance you kept was half of an inch. All right, now back to this one here. I have stitched the neckline, and this is exactly what I have. So guys, notice that I did not top stitch on the wrong part of this bodice. Okay, so the reason why I did not top stitch was because I wanted to have a very neat finish. Like I wanted this to look like a ready-made. That's the reason why I did not top stitch. So now I'm going to stitch the shoulder of both the front and the back block. To do that, place the right side facing each other, right side of the front and the back block facing each other, and you're going to be making sure that the shoulder area aligns properly. Once you've done that, you're going to have to, go ahead to open up the both the front and the back block. So watch what I'm doing here. Open up the shoulder area like this, both the lining and the main fabric, and make sure that you align the seam area. So I had to like cut out the excess fabric I had around the shoulder area. I don't like working with too much seam, so I'm going to still open up the little allowance I have left there. Open it up and use your pin. Make sure that the seams meet, okay, of both the front and the back. Make sure it meets. Then you're going to place with your pin, and also do the same thing on this other part, and just use your pin to secure very well. Then after that, you're going to be stitching by just half of an inch. Hope you understand. Let me also illustrate on this other one for you guys to understand better. So open it up like this, both the front and the back block facing each other. Then you're going to secure with your pin. All right, so once you've done that, also secure this part with your pin and this part as well. Then if you like, it's optional, you can go ahead to cut out the excess seam you have on the shoulder area or the neckline. Okay, so cut out the excess seam you have. That's if you don't want to work with so much seam like me. Then go ahead to stitch by half inch. So this pattern of the shoulder stitching is quite different from the ones we normally do. This is because we are going to be stitching the armhole. So after stitching the shoulder, this is exactly what this looks like. This is looking very neat and beautiful, and I went ahead to open up the seams on the inside and gave it a good press. So now I'm going to be arranging these bodies of both the front and the back block, because I'm going to be trimming the armhole a bit. All right, so trying to arrange the bodies by placing the pin on the shoulder area. Place the pin on both shoulder area, so to check if the fabric you have, if the main body is aligned around the armhole. Okay, if you have any excess fabric, this is the time you're going to be cutting out around the armhole. So I noticed I had a little excess fabric and I just trimmed it out. After that, I was satisfied with what I had. Now I'm going to be stitching the armhole. So I went ahead to stitch one part of the armhole off camera, but I'm going to be showing you guys how I achieved that on this other side here, which I did not stitch. So what you're going to do is that you're going to open up your fabric like this, place it this way. All right, then once you've done that, you're going to go ahead to open up the this bodies like this. Okay, because you're going to be stitching on the wrong side, you know. Once you've opened it up like this, you're going to place the seams meeting each other this way. Okay, I hope you notice what I did there. If you do not see it very well, you have to replay that part and watch to understand. Then go ahead to secure other parts with your pin. All right, do the same thing for these other parts. Then you're going to take this to your sewing machine and you're going to be stitching by half of an inch. So guys, what I did was that half of an inch maximum. What I did was I did not really stitch by half inch, I stitched by 0.4. Okay, so this is what I have here. Once I was done with that, so I went ahead to notch around the armhole. It is always good to notch so that when you're ironing this, it's going to relax more. All right, so notch around the armhole, and once you've done that, you're going to be bringing out the right sides. It's as simple as that, guys. So there's nothing to it. It's very easy to do. So guys, this is what this looks like after I brought it out from on the right side. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give this a very beautiful press. So guys, I have gone ahead to press this and this is looking very beautiful. The dart is sitting pretty, the neckline and the armhole. Now I'm going to be closing the side. So for the side, the left part of the side, I'm going to be fixing the zipper there, and on this other part I'm going to be closing it. So I'm going to be taking in the seam. So guys, watch closely what I'm going to be doing here. So open up the front and the back block like this. Once you've done that, you are going to be sewing in the seam that in such a way that the seam on this other side will not show on the wrong side or on the inner part of the fabric. That's the lining piece of the fabric. I hope you understand what I mean here. So align the seam like this and go ahead to use your pin to secure it. Once you've done that, secure on your pin on other parts. Okay, on this other part, and you're going to be stitching by the allowance you have. For me, I'm going to be stitching by 1.025. That was the allowance I had when I transferred this to my fabric. And for this other part where I'm going to be stitching the zip, I'm going to be turning it separately. Hope you understand. So I have stitched this. I went ahead to give this a very beautiful press, and this is how the inside looks like. Have you seen? I turned the seam in. So for this part which I'm going to be fixing the zipper, I turned this other part, leaving the other part to show you guys. Okay, I did not turn this side, as you can see. Now I'm going to bring out the wrong side so that I stitch the down part and this other side which I did not stitch. All right, so bring out the wrong side like this and stitch the down part by 0.5. Now for this seam I have here, I'm going to be trimming out some parts. I don't want to work with too much seam. So after stitching, you feel free to trim out excess seam. That's if you're sure of the measurement. Okay, so now I'm going to also align that for this down part. I'm going to be aligning the seams. Okay, the darts, I'm going to make sure the darts for both the front and the back aligns. Hope you get, for both the lining piece and the main fabric aligns. Then the side seam, I'm going to make sure that it aligns as well. So I went ahead to use my pin to secure. Do the same thing for your own. Now once you're through with that, you're going to stitch by the down part by 0.5 and the side as well. Okay, so I'm going to stitch the side and the down parts. Guys, when you're stitching the side, make sure you don't stitch from top to down part. So leave about 3 inches on the middle part, which you're going to be using to turn out the right side. Hope you understand. So for me, the side I stitch by 0.25, leaving me with 1 inch for my zipper allowance. For the down part, I stitch by half of an inch. Okay, I'll do that and show you guys the outcome of this. Now for the trouser part, I stitched the side, as you guys can see here. So this is looking very, 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 very beautiful. Now for the down parts, I'm going to bring out the wrong side. So now the right side is facing each other. You're going to be stitching the down parts. So before you stitch, I always advise you overlock the rough edges of the seam. Hope you understand. So overlock before you stitch the down part. Now for this one here, I have stitched the down part and I gave this a very good press. As you guys can see, this is looking very neat. This is looking really neat, guys, but not for the zip. You can use this, you can use the wrong side as the right side and the right side as the wrong side, because guys, this is screaming neat. So I'm going to go ahead to mark out the zipper allowance. I have left 1 inch. So I have 1 inch left for as the zipper allowance. I'm going to just mark that out, and I'm going to go ahead to, fix the zipper allowance. So mark out your zipper allowance, and after marking out the zipper allowance, you're going to, place the wrong sides, like place the right sides facing each other, and you're going to be stitching from the down part by just 1 inch. Okay, stitch unless you're using an open and close zip that you can easily open it up and close it back. But if you're using an invisible zipper like me, you're going to have to stitch the down part by just 1 inch. Okay, see the zipper which I'm going to be using. It's an invisible zipper, so there's no way we can leave the down part open. Hope you understand. So you're going to be closing the down part by just 1 inch. Then from there, you can go ahead to fix your zipper. Okay, so I went ahead to use my pin to secure, because I'm going to actually take this to the machine to close the down part by 1 inch. Okay, can do half inch, can do 1.5 as well. So stitch from this down part by just 1 inch, then leaving the other part for your zipper. I'll do that and I'm going to be showing you guys. Now for the bow, for the belts, I cut a long strip in a width of 3.5 on fold. So if you open this up, it's going to be 7 inches. Then the length, I cut about 34.5 inches. So this depends on what length you want. Okay, you can go ahead and make it longer or shorter. Depends on how many fabric you have left, or the length of your belt. It depends on what length you want for your belt. For me, I was okay by this. Okay, I was okay with this length. Now I'm going to go ahead to trim out to make this the to know to make the shape looks like belt. Okay, so go ahead to trim it to make it look like belt. Now I'm going to open this up and stitch by 0.5 inches. Okay, I'm going to stitch by 0.5 inch. Sorry guys, from this part stitch by 0.5 inch. When you get to this middle part, you're going to make a top stitch, leaving about 2 inches, and start stitching again to this other part. Then for this one here, I cut 2 pieces of fabric. Okay, the width of 10 inches. I cut a width of 10 inches. Then the total length of 34.5 as well. Okay, this for the bow. Okay, so I'm going to be so now at this point you should add your interfacing. Okay, add your interfacing. You can add a stiff to it to give it some form of stability for your bow. Then you're going to be stitching on the side, still leave about 2 inches on this down part. Hope you understand. Now guys, for this trouser, I've stitched the down part, and this is what this looks like, as you guys can see. Now for this side here, I am going to be adding, stitch the band to the top parts and to the waist area. I've already cut out the band. I have a detailed tutorial on how you can cut your band trouser, so you can check on how to cut and sew a trouser on my channel. It is very detailed. If you watch that tutorial, it's going to change your trouser game. Seriously, you really need to see it. Is a game changer. So I'm going to stitch the band area. For this front band, I'm going to stitch on the center front, and also do the same thing for the lining piece. Okay, stitch on the center front of both the main fabric and the lining piece. And for the back band, you're going to, since there's going to be zipper on the back, you're going to be stitching this to the front parts. So after stitching the center parts here, you're going to place the right side facing each other, and you're going to stitch the top parts. Hope you understand. So you're going to stitch the top parts. Once you've done that, please give it a good press. Now for the back one here, you're going to stitch both the lining and the main piece only on the top part, since there's going to be zipper at the back. Hope you understand. So use your pin to secure. Take to your sewing machine and stitch on the waist area. Hope you understand. Only on the top part of the back band. Okay, so it's quite different from how we stitch the front part, because there's going to be zipper on the back. Hope you understand. So guys, I'm going to take this to the sewing machine and show you guys what I have next. Alright guys, I've stitched the band, and this is exactly what this looks like. So I have give this a beautiful press, as you guys can see. Now on the part which I'm going to be placing on the trouser to sew, I did not fold it to iron by 1/2 inch. I only folded in 1/2 inch on the parts which I'm going to be using to top stitch on the wrong side of the trouser. Hope you understand. I'll do the same thing for the back. So for this one here, I have fixed the zipper off camera, and guys, this is what this looks like. I used a zipper foot, so if you don't have an invisible zipper foot, please get one for yourself to be a lot easier. After cutting, I had to pipe the down part of the zip. Okay, so to give this a very beautiful finish. Guys, this is what this looks like. I'm going to iron the zipper area later. Alright, so This is what is looking very beautiful and clean. Now for the bow, I have stitched both the belt and the one which I'm going to be using for the bow. So simply fold this like this, and you're going to take to your sewing machine and stitch down by, just stitch a little, just a little thing. You don't need to stitch by half inch or even 0.25, just a tiny stitch, just to secure it. Stitch that it doesn't the stitch doesn't show on the right side of the fabric. Okay, so guys, after that you're going to place the belt like this and create your bow. So it's not hard. Once you've done that, you're going to, make it tight, make it firm, and you're going to be stitching on the belt area, just to make the secure both the belt and the bow together. Hope you understand. I stitched the band off camera. I've not even ironed the band because as I was sewing, the light ceased. Okay, so I'm going to be ironing the band later, and I'm going to be fixing the zipper as well off camera. Then for the down part, for the down part of this trouser, I'm going to trim out the excess fabric I have here, and I'm going to go ahead to use overlock and use my hemming gum to hem it by 2 inches allowance, which I kept. Guys, for the bow placement, you're going to bring your upper bodies and place the bow on the back part. Hope you understand. So I didn't get to stitch the belt to the bow because while I was making video, the light ceased. I had to post this video eventually. And guys, this is it for this tutorial, and thank you so much for always believing in me and for always coming back here. And guys, please do not forget, don't skip the ads that usually pop up on your screen whenever you're watching my videos. Thank you so much once again, and see you guys in my next one. Bye.